Hello, welcome to 5099 Health Academy. This video introduces a clinical excellence roadmap for rehabilitation after vertebroplasty, utilizing an evidence-based recovery protocol and ACSM guidelines for lumbar compression fractures.
(5099) Health Academy. 건강의 모든 것.
Lumbar compression fractures, or LCF, are often due to osteoporosis or trauma, causing intense focal pain and reduced mobility. Structurally, LCFs lead to loss of vertebral height and kyphotic deformity, significantly impacting quality of life and physical function. Vertebroplasty is a minimally invasive procedure where PMMA bone cement is injected into the vertebral body. This hardens, providing immediate mechanical stability and sensory nerve desensitization, acting as an internal cast. Rehabilitation is non-negotiable because vertebroplasty treats the symptom, but rehab addresses the source, which is bone fragility and muscle weakness. Structured exercise is critical to prevent the downhill spiral of inactivity and reduce refracture risk by 40%. Rehabilitation follows 4 phases: acute, weeks 0 to 2, subacute, weeks 2 to 6, load, weeks 6 to 12, and maintain, 12 plus weeks. Progress is dependent on clinical clearance and bone density results. Strict adherence to the BLT rule is vital, as breaking these rules is the #1 cause of secondary fractures. Prohibitions include no bending or rounding the spine, no lifting over 5 to 10 pounds for the first 6 weeks, and no twisting the torso. Remember, breaking these rules is the #1 cause of secondary fractures in adjacent vertebrae. Phase 1, early mobility, covers weeks 0 to 2. Key activities include ankle pumps to prevent blood clots, diaphragmatic breathing to manage pain, and short, assisted walking on flat surfaces for 5 to 10 minutes, several times a day. Immediate post-op safety focuses on preventing inactivity complications. This includes DVT prevention with active ankle movements and proper movement using log rolling as seen in the picture to safely get out of bed. Always use prescribed assistance, like a walker. Phase 2, which covers 2 to 6 weeks after the surgery, focuses on stability and posture, rebuilding the core muscles to protect the healing vertebra. Exercises include pelvic tilts, both lying and standing, and scapular retraction to correct the C posture. Please pause the screen and make sure you're following the correct movements. Phase 3, strengthening, takes place during weeks 6 to 12. These exercises, performed 12 to 15 reps/set, 3 sets a day, include the bird dog, glute bridges, and wall squats. For the bird dog exercise, extend opposite limbs slowly, focusing on reaching for length rather than lifting high. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds at the top, and switch sides. To perform glute bridges, lie on your back with knees bent and feet close to your glutes. Lift your hips until a straight diagonal line is formed, hold for 1 to 2 seconds, and slowly lower. For the wall squat, place your back flat against the wall with feet positioned out. Slide down until your thighs are parallel to the floor and hold for 30 to 60 seconds before returning to the start. Phase 4, bone health, from week 12 onward, follows ACSM standards. This includes multimodal exercise with high load resistance and weight-bearing impact. Long-term consistency is key to reversing bone loss. Please follow along with the following exercises, master the correct movements, and practice them consistently. The first of the big 4, lower body the pillar. For beginners, master the chair squat. The sit-to-stand movement is the ultimate predictor of senior independence. Perform 10 to 15 reps for 2 sets, keeping weight on your heels and chest upright. For the advanced level of lower body work, move to the goblet squat. Adding external load increases bone density and power. Hold a dumbbell or kettlebell at chest height. Aim for 8 to 12 reps across 3 sets. This movement enhances core stability and lower back resilience. The second core movement is the chest functional push. Beginners should start with wall push-ups. This builds upper body strength without excessive joint stress. Stand 2 feet from a wall and push away slowly. Aim for 10 to 15 reps, 2 sets, while engaging your core. For the advanced level, use the machine or dumbbell press for controlled resistance. This maximizes pectoral and triceps hypertrophy and stabilizes the shoulder girdle. Aim for 8 to 12 reps across 3 sets at moderate to high intensity. The third essential movement is the back, postural integrity. Beginners should use resistance band rows to counteract the forward lean of aging. Sit with the band around your feet and pull your elbows back. Perform 12 to 15 reps for 2 sets, squeezing your shoulder blades together. The advanced back exercise is the lat pull-down. This builds vertical pulling strength, essential for spine health and overhead mobility. Use a pulley machine, pulling the bar to your upper chest. Aim for 8 to 12 reps, 3 sets. Finally, the core, stability center. For beginners, the dead bug safely activates deep abdominal muscles without spinal compression. Lie on your back and slowly lower the opposite arm and leg. Perform 10 reps per side, 2 sets, keeping your lower back pressed to the mat. The advanced core exercise is the forearm plank. This high-intensity isometric hold builds total body tension and endurance. Hold your body straight on your elbows and toes for 30 to 60 seconds, completing 3 reps. This exercise integrates shoulders, core, and glutes. Progressive loading is necessary to increase bone density, requiring a higher mechanical load than daily activities. This includes weighted squats, progressive band work, and transitioning to brisk, intentional stepping for impact. The ACSM FIT-TVP framework guides the program, covering frequency, intensity, time, type, volume, and progression, ensuring a structured approach to increasing weight and impact as pain allows. Supportive medical management includes recommended daily intake of 1,200 milligrams of calcium and 800 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D3. Protein intake of 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram supports muscle repair, and prescribed pharmacology helps with bone mineral density. Remember that recovery is a marathon, not a sprint. Follow up with regular DEXA scans and physical assessments. Consistency in sticking to the ACSM frequency is necessary to see bone gains. Consult a rehabilitation specialist.
Thanks for watching. Subscribing and liking really helps out a lot. Have a nice day.